et chaque journée, une coach.
This is Rogers TV.
Well, I've been waiting a very long time to feature this organization on An Hour to Give. I'm so happy you joined us. I'm Sam Laprade. We're going to learn all about the Orléans Cumberland Community Resource Centre today, and you're going to be inspired. It's a bit of a warning to start with, and I know Chad Chartrand is going to inspire you today. Hi, Chad. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. You've got a very important role. Tell us what you do with the centre.
Well, first of all, I'm just really grateful to be able to have this role and do what I do in a community. So I'm the Communication and Fund Development Coordinator at the Orléans Cumberland Community Resource Centre, or the OCCRC for short. I do fundraising, I do the comms, internal, external. I have the privilege to meet with donors, to work alongside some wonderful volunteers. And you know, the OCCRC has been in the community since 1988.
Wow.
So about 36 years now. And we're part of a coalition of 13 community health and resource centers across the city. And at our center, we have various programs, such as our Early On program, which is an early childhood development. There's workshops for parents, playgroups for the kids, and this is a program that is provincially funded, and it's available across the province in many centers. Some of the programs that are not funded that I fundraise for is our Child and Youth program. We have wonderful child and youth counselors who organize various activities like our kids space and youth space. They, like I mentioned, they provide counseling to children and youth in our community. We also have an intake program, so if there are any adults who need help or who are in crisis, they can come to the center and meet with one of our intake workers. And we have our food bank. So one of our largest programs is the food bank. And on top of that, we consider ourselves, and well, we are a community hub in the community. So, and what I mean by that is not only do we provide these programs, but we also work with some wonderful partners. Such as the YMCA Employment and Newcomer Hub. We also have the First Words program. So First Words is offered through CHEO. So the parents don't have to travel all the way to the hospital to get, you know, so First Words is speech therapy for children. So they don't have to go all the way to the hospital for that. They can have those services in our community. There's also early infant screening. So this is one of the first ways that I learned about the center is when I had a newborn. We went to the center to get their hearing checked to make sure that everything was working great. We have OCISO, EBO, and you know, we really want to help everyone in our community. That's why, you know, we're a community hub.
It really is impressive, and I think anyone that's ever gone to the website even, it is incredible the amount of people that you're serving, and that it's right in the community of Orléans Cumberland. I lived in that community for many years and know that it's really great to have something in your own community. You're supported as well by your community. Talk to me a little bit about that.
We are so grateful to have amazing donors, organizations, businesses, schools who really support our organization so that we can do what we do in a community. Because if it wasn't for their support, we couldn't do what we do. You know, we couldn't have the impact that we have in our community that we do without these wonderful organizations.
And lots of people helping. I want to give a shout out to the reason that you're here today is you're very, very grateful to someone who reached out and said, we want to help you be on this show today. And who are we giving thanks to today?
So we're giving thanks to Waste Connections of Canada, Navan Landfill,
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So it's great to have them on board. Give them a big shout out and thank them for being part of today.
Yeah, big thank you. Thank you so much. We're always grateful for everything and all your support that you do for us. Yeah. In prior years for our Christmas program, they have a wonderful bike program, and over the holidays they would provide bicycles to children in a community that wanted a bicycle as a Christmas gift.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's really wonderful. They've been supporting us with that program for many years. Unfortunately, this year with our Christmas program, we've had to make some difficult decisions due to the increased need at the food bank. That were unfortunately, normally we would be handing out food and gifts, but because of the increased need, and not only in our community, but in communities across Ottawa, across Ontario, across the country as a whole, the demand for food assistance is never seen before levels.
So let's talk about food security, because I think it really is at the heart of what you do. You do a lot, but I think it all starts with full bellies, right? So give us a sense of the numbers. How many people are you serving? I know upwards of 1,100, but the number is growing, right?
The numbers are growing. So record usage at the food bank right now. Since September, there's been over 1,100 individuals coming to the food bank needing food assistance, coming for help. And about half of that are children in our community.
Wow.
And compared to other communities across Ontario, we're higher than average. So there's more children in our community that are hungry than in many places, in many cities, in Ottawa as well. And so we also had our busiest October in history this year, with 1,251 individuals needing assistance. We're reaching crisis levels at the food bank, and demand has increased 100% over the last 10 years.
Wow. Can we just pause there for a second? Because I think that is a number that will shock many of our listeners and viewers today, to know that we've seen an increase of 100%. And that community has grown over the years as well. Is this a combination of maybe new people to Canada and people that are just finding it hard to kind of make it ends meet?
Well, it's due to, and there was a Feed Ontario report that was just released a couple of days ago, and it's really due to inflation. I know inflation, interest rates are coming down, but food inflation is still very high. High cost of housing at the moment, right? And there's a changing job market, and there's definitely a growing demographic. There are more working individuals that need to use the food bank today than ever before. Right. And also, there's also an increase of newcomers. Like there's been an uptick of newcomers in our community, and these are all factors that are really taking a toll.
Mm-hmm. And the programs that you mentioned, I know there's lots of programs obviously for children and youth you've talked about, and programs for adults as well. What is the access level? Are people being referred to the programs? Are they self-referring? How does that work?
Most self-referral. Most people are just either come to the center, present and say, we need help, or they call, and then we make an appointment so that they can meet with someone at the center, and then if they need food, then we'll set up another point so that they can come and get food, and there's been resource constraints, unfortunately, because of the increase in demand, and in the past, we would give out about 5 days of food, but because of the increase in demand, we've had to lower that to about 3 days of food, which is our mandate. We are a member client of the Ottawa Food Bank, so that's part of our mandate. We always want to give a little more, but unfortunately, because of this, because we're reaching crisis levels, we have to lower the amount of food that we give.
Yeah, no, that's fair. What would if you were to bump into someone maybe that has never heard of the Orléans Cumberland Community Resource Centre before, what would you sort of share with them that maybe not a lot of people know?
That a lot of people know us because that we have a food bank, but because we have a lot of other services, right? We are a community hub. We all have various programs, and really. If you're in a community and you need help, please reach out. We are there to support you. We are there to, if you need help with your finances, we can, refer you to someone who can help you with your finances. If you're looking for a job or you're unemployed, well, we have partners at the center that can help with that. So we're much more than. We're much more than a food bank. We are a food bank. It's incredibly important. It's incredibly necessary unfortunately in our community. The need is there. But if your child needs help, if you need help for mental health of some sort, or you want to take part in various activities, you want your little ones to socialize, meet other kids, we have all that at the center.
So there's a wraparound services, right? Which I love. I think that's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. And you couldn't do it without volunteers. We only have about a minute left, but talk to me a little bit about the volunteer piece.
Well, and during the pandemic, it really took a toll on everyone and on many organizations. We did not have as many volunteers, but we've worked really hard to increase our volunteers, and really our volunteers help immensely at the food bank. We have about 160 wonderful volunteers at the center who really support us, support the people that we serve, support our clients, and really we couldn't do what we do without their support. Really, they're the foundation of what we do.
And that really is time, talent, and treasure. It's the definition of philanthropy.
Yeah.
People giving time, their talents, and of course those important donations. You're going to come back and join us in a few minutes, of course, and we're going to meet a couple of wonderfully dedicated volunteers as well. We're going to give lots of ideas at the end of how people can get involved, but tell us about your website. Where can we find you?
Yeah, so you can find us at crcoc.ca. Again, that's crcoc.ca. And on our website, you can find all the wonderful service that we offer to the community. If you need help for food, there's a tab there to get in touch with someone at the food bank. If you're looking at any other services, everything is there on our website.
And I think, being able to feature today the Orléans Cumberland Community Resource Centre is another great step of introducing this organization to the community. And I'm hoping today that we inspire people to connect with you. We're going to come back and join you in a little bit, but we're going to meet Denis and Rob. They are wonderful volunteers for this organization. We're going to meet them when we come back on An Hour to Give.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hey, I'm Dave, and I absolutely love to camp.
Why do we do this? Why do we go out here with the bugs, the bears, skunks chasing you, poison ivy, ticks, you name it. Why do we do it? Because we love it. I love it.
I wanted to take my passion for filming and the outdoors and combine them, and that's why I'm here. Maybe it's a mistake, I don't know.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Today, I helped a senior find transportation to an important medical appointment.
Today, I helped a new mom find virtual programming so she didn't feel so isolated.
Today, I helped someone understand new government supports. Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
And we are back on An Hour to Give. I'm so excited today. We are featuring the Orléans Cumberland Community Resource Centre. Lots to talk about today. We're going to meet two fantastic volunteers, and Denise Charbonneau is here, as well as Rob Paiement. They are volunteers, and they've been volunteering for a very long time.
That's right.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, yourself?
So, of course, you're volunteers, but what do you do in your day job? Because you look kind of...
I'm also a volunteer firefighter. Been over 23 years here in the Ottawa area. So out in Orleans.
Out in Orleans.
Yeah.
So you're dedicated to the Orleans
dedicated,
community.
and I've been co-chair for the Orleans Cumberland Resource Centre for the food drive for over 22 years now.
Wow, that's amazing. And Rob, what do you do when you're not volunteering?
When I'm not volunteering, I work at the University of Ottawa with the Protection Services, and I'm responsible for the training division.
Wow, and what does that mean?
What it means to us is that we are responsible to make sure that the men and women in uniform have the support, the training to complete their duties on a daily basis. So we are at the first responders, the security team, and also the fire brigade for the university.
And it's something that probably the average person doesn't think about, right? That's required at a big university setting like that.
At the university, we are a small community. We're over 50,000 people. So, we are often compared to a small city.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So I'm going to take you back. Can I take you back to... I don't know, maybe the 80s, and take you back to Gatineau High School and school. Give me a little idea of why we're going back to Gatineau.
So Rob and I have been volunteering since then. So probably since I was in grade 7 and he was in grade 9. Our older brothers played football together, and we're part of a committee and organizing stuff. And we've been friends forever and organizing and volunteering. Rob's the type of person where you call him and say, "Hey Rob, we're doing food drive. Can you get some people?" He puts the call out, he gets the people. And he's my right-hand man in this food drive.
I love it. So has it really dawned on you that it's been 36 years? I mean, I'll go to you first and I'm coming to you, but I mean, when you think about being together and doing this for 36 years, it's just in your DNA.
It is. I mean, that's how we grew up. Our parents were always out in the communities helping out, and that's how we grew up, and that's how I show my kids to do it. They're there with me still helping out and volunteering, and time goes by fast.
How about you, 36 years?
It goes by really fast, but when you get to volunteer and work with people that you love and that you get along with, and then you bring like-minded people to the table, and more people is added to our group over the years, and now it includes most of us, all of our children as well. So, my daughter Annabelle has been volunteering since she was 3. And
I love it.
She's known Denny most of her life, all her life, I should say, and it has a huge impact, and she'll be with us again this year, volunteering with us. So both my kids were heavily impacted by us volunteering, and they're both giving back to the community in their own way as well.
And it's cyclical. I mean, it's beautiful to see the family come together, and it really is a beautiful legacy you're giving your family as well. So I think about being a volunteer firefighter, and then I see you working on this, dedicated to the Orleans community. I think sometimes people think about the communities of Barrhaven, Canada, Orleans as, well, they're okay. There's no one in need in those communities, and it couldn't be farther from the truth.
That's right.
Denny, talk to me a little bit about the need.
So the need is there, especially this year. I don't have the exact numbers for this year, but I know last year we fed over 600 families for Christmas and throughout the new year. Having the firefighters there, it's one of our biggest fundraisers, helping out in the community that we do. I get about 100 firefighters that come out. We have all the grocery stores in Orleans collecting food, and the minute I put the call out, they're always there. Everybody's there to help us. And it feels good, and to see the people, to go in the food bank 2-3 weeks before and there's nothing on the shelves, and to put something there is remarkable, and everybody loves it. People love giving to firefighters. We love giving it back to the community and making sure everybody's fed and taken care of.
Yeah, there is something about when you see shelves bare. that really drives a community, to think that maybe it's your neighbor, it's someone across the street that is going without. It is a big driver. How do you sort of reconcile that in your own life, knowing that there's somebody might be in need in the community, and that's why you're doing this kind of work?
Well, often enough, people don't recognize the need amongst our neighbors and friends and family. So when somebody is struggling, they rarely ask for help until it's too late often. So in my work previously, people contacted my office when I held different offices and would say, well, I now need help, but not knowing that an office of a city councillor or an office of an MPP can help you with certain bills, can help you with certain payment arrangements when it comes to utilities at the municipal or provincial level. So a lot of times people don't know where to reach out, and that's why centers like the Orléans Cumberland Resource Centre and our network around this city are so important. The only thing is people don't know where they are. So I call these places lighthouses.
Oh, I love that.
But they don't have a beacon right now that is recognized across the city. So you need help, you know where the firefighters are. You need help, you know where the police officers are. But you don't know where your local community resource centers are. And with Chad and with other people, we're going to try to make it more accessible, because they are accessible once you know where they are. And although today you may be calling them for the food bank, they're going to do some intake. And then they're going to say, hey, there's other programs that'll be able to help you. And that's the magic of going for the Orléans Cumberland Resource Centre or one of their partners, is that they'll do an intake and they'll try to solve your immediate issue for food insecurity. But they will also guide you through other service organizations or programs that you and your family may benefit from.
Beautifully said. I love the idea of the lighthouse and the beacon. I think that's a wonderful analogy to sort of think about our community, because there are so many people that want to help, and it can become a lot of people sort of have, you know, internal sort of resistance to reach out. There's some shame maybe that they feel, but I really want to send the message that there is no shame in reaching out. And I think what's really important, and I always say this, I worked in the homeless sector for a long time, it's a page in your story, it's not the whole book. And so this Christmas, this time, might be a challenging time, but it doesn't mean it's going to be like that forever. Would you agree?
I totally agree. You know, like any donation, you know, every quarter counts, every dollar counts, everything helps. You know, we can buy things and support everybody. You know, don't feel bad if you can't give that $5 this year, but you can give that tuning. Everything helps. It just to see the faces. I mean, we don't get to see the people going in the food bank, but just to see the shelves and just imagine people going in there to fill their food and you know, sitting at home, you know, eating your Dorito chips or whatever you're eating, you know, you take it for granted. Some people can't do that.
So true.
And during Christmas, we got to make sure the tables are full.
And we know that, you know, the challenges that are being faced right now know no face. It's every walk of life. It's every street in the community. Some people are surprised, oh, you know, this community needs help. Or as I mentioned earlier, Orléans, Cumberland, people think, oh, there's big houses there, it's beautiful. But the reality is not every house is big and not every house has what they need. So it's an important message to send that there is no shame.
Absolutely.
Yeah, would you agree on that? Yeah.
I think most importantly is that by looking at someone, it's always compared to like a duck. It's on the water, it's smooth sailing, but you don't know how fast those legs are paddling under the water and what stress levels they're going through and what's happening in their heads. So that no judgment space does exist, and it's in our community centers or community resource centers across our city. And I would say those are some of the joint values that all of these locations have, is that there is no judgment.
Absolutely. What would you say to donors that happily hand over some food or maybe some money to be able to make a difference? What would you say to them today?
You know, like I said, anything counts. You know, at the firefighters will be at the grocery store with a list of things that we need, you know, as a baby food, diapers, so on and so forth. You know, some people come out, and I've seen over the years, they come out with a full cart and they're saying, oh, well, hang on a sec. They grab the one bag of toothpaste or whatever, and if there's shoot the cart over to us full of food.
Oh.
And we're like, wow, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So it's something, it's very touching to see these people do that. And the firefighters are so amazed, like, wow, this person gave. Or the firefighters to boot out. And then they're going through their change and they only have 100. They don't even stop, drop the 100 in there. It's like, wow, that's remarkable.
Is it emotional?
Yeah.
It is. It is. But it's also the multiplier aspect. So sometimes people say, I only have $1 to give. But that $1, I can tell them in all certainty that will be multiplied a minimum of 4 times.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you tell me I can donate 5, that's actually $20 worth of food that I can buy. And when we educate people of that, they feel like, I've done something today.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's a quarter or $1 or $5, every single donation helps. And this donation that will be made for the food bank program will be 100% reinvested for the food bank program.
Yeah. And I think that message of cash donations is really impactful, because I don't know if people really understand the buying power that comes with food banks, that they're able to really make that investment, and where we might spend $1.50 on a can of corn, they might be getting that for 45 cents, right?
Yeah. They like I said, they have the buying power, and and they buy in bulk through all the food banks together, and it's great. And people donate that money. I believe last year, I think we did about, just in our one-day event, I think was it $5,000 or $6,000. I forget the exact number. That adds up to a lot of money. Just thinking that we're at 6 different stores, filling the boot and the taps, and then they're able to go buy whichever wasn't on the list or not enough of. And the money goes a long way.
And you mentioned baby items, and I know this is something that I was really educated on in terms of baby items, is that's what's really needed sometimes, and we tend to forget that diapers and wipes and all those things for wee babes, they're needed as well.
I would say donate where your heart is.
Right.
Some people like to donate for a segment of their lives that is important to them, the age group of their child, or they have a pet. Because some people have the idea that if you have a pet, you shouldn't have any food insecurity. But that pet is also your therapist, is your confidant, is your escort in life. So the benefit of a pet outweighs the cost, but it helps those people with food insecurity to be able to get some pet food as well. So if it is a 2-year-old child or baby or a senior that needs toiletries or adult diapers, donate where your heart is. And a lot of people that I've talked to say that. Well, I have an elder father that now needs some sanitary napkins.
Right.
This is what I'm going to donate, because I am sure somebody else is going to need that, and it's quite expensive. So my own family, we've always donated to the age group when they were kids.
Yeah, I love
now
that.
That they're older, they still donate for kids, but they try to imagine what the child would want.
Beautiful.
But before it was, I'm 5, I'm going to choose a gift for another 5-year-old girl. Because that was her donation.
I love that. So we're going to come back because we have more to chat about.
Yes.
I'm not done with you two yet. I'm not done. Of course, Denis and Rob will be coming back to talk all about the Orléans Cumberland Community Resource Centre. And I know you're coming back to join us on An Hour to Give.
As I looked upon the battlefield in front of me, a German star shell lit up the desolate landscape. I watched as a bullet smashed through the bridge of my nose and left me to the mercy of the darkness. I worried I would be dependent on others for the rest of my life. But Sir Arthur Pearson and the staff of St. Dunstan's had other plans. With their help, I knew I could be self-reliant, and I wanted to bring this idea home to Canada. I wanted Canadians to know that we could hold jobs, that we could contribute, that regardless of sight, all would read, that we, the blind, would shape our own lives, our own destiny.
Blinded by a sniper's bullet in 1915, Edwin A. Baker went on to co-found the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, shaping a path forward for the blind across Canada for generations to come.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, she may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Kids these days, people say we lack initiative.
And technology, that we're all addicted.
Kids these days, we hear that we only care about ourselves. Apparently, we're lazy.
And don't seem to have any sense of independence.
Actually, kids these days are facing a lot. Because the world has changed, and so have our health issues. Kids these days, we could really use your help. Join CHIO in our biggest fundraising campaign ever to transform pediatric care.
And we're back. We're back on An Hour to Give, talking all about the Orléans Cumberland Community Resource Centre. And Denis and Rob have stayed with us, and I'm so glad that you're here, of course, and the important work that you're doing, Denis Charbonneau, in the firefighting world. Obviously very, very important. And you're at Ottawa U doing incredible work as well, taking care of people. But it's not enough for you two. Nope. You're involved, obviously, very heavily with this resource centre and right in your own community. We were talking earlier about getting families involved and all that good stuff. So talk to me about the day of. Where are you and where do you find your friend Rob?
So the day of the event, I'm out at the grocery stores with the firefighters, loading trucks and doing all the front end stuff. Yeah. You know, talking to the people and you know, taking pictures and giving out candy canes, whatever we're doing. And then I bring all the food over to the food drive, and we drive the food over to the food bank, and Rob takes it from there.
And where do you do? Take me from there.
So take it from there. It starts months ahead, where by the month of August, I get emails saying, hey, when's the food drive? Mm-hmm. So I have an incredible group of volunteers that are friends, former colleagues that are now great friends, and a bunch of people that are like-minded that wants to be there on this day. What we do is when Denis or his partners arrive with the fire vehicles full of food, we call out a bucket brigade. And we all line up and we offload the truck. Oh. And then we sort out all of the foods. And in our group of volunteers, we have people of all walks and all ages. And one of the things that we do is we have our young collaborators, our young volunteers, and we give them specific jobs about baby cereal, diapers, and they take care of the kids section. So when they see these products, we leave it on the table and they take ownership of it and sort it out for us. And what that does is gives them a lot of ownership, because at the beginning of the day, they'll see that how bare that shelf was. And at the end of the day, they see how the contribution of a community helped them keep busy all day, and then they see the results of their actions at the end of the day.
How brilliant is that? Because, I mean, I think when kids are given a task and they see that it's gone from bare to full, then they feel more excited to even come back next year, right?
Correct. That's right.
Yeah, it's amazing.
As we were talking during the break, we have this young boy, Caleb, started volunteering with us. He was 6 years old, and now he's 14, still volunteering with us. And in fact, he's bringing his cousin this time around.
I love it.
So it's a force multiplier as well. When volunteers have a meaningful task and a meaningful contribution, they want to come back and they bring like-minded people to our group. So I don't have a short of volunteers, but what I do have is people that have their hearts at the right place.
Yeah. Does this volunteering keep you young?
Yes. Yeah. I find it does. Yeah. You know what? It's keeps us going. Like it's a lot of planning. Getting the vehicles, getting the bins, getting all that. It's a lot of planning. But you know what? It's so fun. It goes by and it's like, it's like planning for a big wedding, and then all of a sudden it's finished.
Right.
And get back at it next year. But,
and you two are still together.
Yeah, we're still together. We'll argue.
Which is great. And involving your families, like you mentioned before, you both, when you both spoke about that, there was a spark in your eye about how important that is for you to involve your families, knowing that once again, there's a family down the street that might be in need as well. So the family piece has been important for you.
Very, very important. And like Rob was saying, you get the kids involved where they see it and they see the change, and in every walk of life, it could be the person next door or whatever, like we were saying a while ago. And when my son is 9 years old, he moves it. He knows that it could be that person just crossed him at school that needs the food, and he understands that, and he really grasps, and then he takes it, and so much that my wife tells me sometimes, like, okay, that's a bit too much. You're doing too much. You got to take a break. But now my son, they're looking for volunteers at school for all this community, all this, and he signed up for everything.
Of course.
So then my wife says, oh, he signed up for everything. He goes, yeah, but Daddy does it. And I'm like, okay, well, we got to take a little break.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have a little Denis in the making. Yes.
Yes.
And I think Denis touched on something is that we're also very blessed to have partners in our spouses that are sharing us with our community. They let us be who we want to be with the support that we have from our spouses. And they're also good friends. Yeah. And I think it brings people together. So
it does.
It's not only an individual thing, but it's a team thing. So between Team Charbonneau, Team Paiement, and many different teams that are supporting this event, it's making an impact that's very positive in our community.
I am so glad you brought up your spouses. I think it's a brilliant point, and I'm really glad you did. Let's talk about the family you have at the firehouse. So talk to me a little bit about the team you work with there. I know, as you know, I adore the firefighters and have done much work over the years with your team, including Nick DeFazio and the whole team there. But talk about your group.
So my group, so I'm in East End. I'm at the Station 53 in Charlemagne. So a volunteer firefighter composite station. So I have firefighters from Navan, Cumberland, and Vars. We have about 100 firefighters that come out for that day with their families and stand at all the grocery stores and collect the food. Tremendous work. They're there. I just tell them, we need you between these hours, and the spots fill up. They bring their families. Hey, can we bring, now like Rob was saying, some of the kids, the firefighters' kids are bringing their families, their friends, and we're, signing off for volunteer hours and so on and so forth. So they're really seeing the giving and doing all the impact. We do so much, and I think it's a thing I grew up in the fire service. I think it's a thing in the fire department. We have to help. We have to, as much as we drive the big red truck, and everybody likes to see that. But in the background, we like to, I'm involved with so much stuff. The T. Morgan car wash, the food bank, MD. So we really push our firefighters. That's our number one thing. I mean, in the fire service, community is the biggest thing. Community, we have to be out there helping our community. And that's something I tell our new firefighters. Like I said, I've been doing over 22 years now. And it's something that we really have to embrace and help. And it brings a smile to your face just seeing that little things like that happen.
For sure. I love seeing you all at the Navan Fair. I'm always at the Navan Fair and love seeing all of you there as well as out in the community. Give us a sense of sort of what's planned for the next few weeks. We know, of course, Saturday, December 7th, very, very big day for you. But walk us through right up until maybe the 20th, 21st of December. If someone can't give on the 7th, how are they reaching out and giving past that day?
Yep. I would say that the best way is to link up to the Orléans Cumberland Resource Centre if they live in our catchment area or they want to donate specifically to that food program. But any one of the food banks, and what people don't understand is that food banks in Ottawa are regulated by a catchment area. So for us, it's the Orléans Cumberland Resource Centre. But in Orleans, depending on your postal code, you may be under another food bank in the K1C.
Right.
Or you may be in the Blackburn Hamlet catchment area. So in Orleans itself, going all the way to the city limits of Clarence-Rockland, we have Orleans Cumberland. But then halfway through Orleans, we have the K1C, which is a food bank managed at a local church. And then in Blackburn Hamlet, there's a third food bank there. So a lot of times people will knock on the door and say, oh, you can't come here. But it's important to know that there is a place for people to go. So if you want to donate in your community, try to reach out to your local city councilor or your MPP or call your local resource center to make sure you're donating at the right place. But a donation at a food program multiplies. So the donation you make in December may be spent in January, February, March, God bless, April, if we have those funds. So we can multiply it and have an impact in the weeks and months going forward. The demand is greater, and what we saw is that sometimes people don't know how to donate and how to give. If it's food, it's food. If it's time, you can volunteer. If it's not with us, you can volunteer within your community.
It just enriches the whole community, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So take me to December 25th. You've done all the work. Santa's come down the chimney. Lots of families got, nice full bellies. How do you spend that day? Do you reflect on the work that you've done?
Yeah, we do. Hopefully we're not at a fire or anything like that. But time with the family and relax and reflect on everything we did over the year. Yeah.
And let me guess, starting on the 26th of December, you start thinking about 2025, Rob?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
I know that already. Yeah. I can just tell.
We're always planning after, because there's always a debrief that we do after each one of our events. So we learn, we do some critical pathing, what would we change for next year? And then over time, over the other 5 or 6 things we're going to do in the community over the year, we'll talk about it and, get better at it. To add to Denny's words as well is that I think on Christmas Day, it's to bring people. There's Mike Nickerson in his book, Life, Money, and Illusion. He writes a segment about the goods in life versus the good life. So don't worry about that big screen TV or the latest craze of toys. Have a good day with your child on Christmas Day. Don't make it about the goods. Don't make it about spending. Make it about a good day. And if that can include food, even better.
Yeah, beautifully said. Yeah, beautifully said. How do you hang out when you're not volunteering? Do you golf together? Do you fish together? Or are you always chatting about the Orleans Cumberland Community Resource Centre? We're
in everything. So we do. We don't golf or anything like that, but we do the memorial. So typically December we're doing the food drive. June we're doing Firefighter Day in Cumberland. Rob helps me a lot with that, the cooking and so on. Just before June and May, we'll do the T. Morgan car wash. And then in September, I brought Rob on this year. I sit on the Canadian Fallen Firefighter Memorial. I'm one of the ambassadors. Oh, wow. So I brought Rob in to be one of the drivers picking up the families. Yeah. So I guess pretty much every month we see each other.
Amazing. They say that if you want something done, give it to a busy person. Is that this case with all of you?
I think it's indicative of our community here in Ottawa. I call it the ATSP syndrome, always the same people. They are involved as coaches, mentors, peers, church leaders. They're there for their community. So I think it's a great syndrome to have because Ottawa has a really great volunteer base and they seem to be recruiting other people. So sharing the burden and, the best news we could get on a Christmas morning is that there's no more food insecurity. But until then, we're going to work hard at it and try to do our part. So
beautifully said. So where are we finding you on Saturday, December the 7th?
So Saturday, December 7th, we're going to be at the 3 metros in Orleans. So Orleans, Common Glen, and Cumberland on 10th line. On Innes Road, we'll be at the Sobeys on 10th line, and we'll be at the Sobeys on Trim Road, and we'll be at the Freshco on Trim Road.
You're going to be everywhere.
We're going to be everywhere.
Everywhere. Gentlemen, you've inspired me today, and you've given me hope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Denise Charbonneau joining us today and Rob Paiement talking all about their love for the Orleans Cumberland Community Resource Centre. I'm Sam Laprade. We're coming back to talk more about this wonderful organization on An Hour to Give.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV, Channel 22. I'm Ramon DeFranco. Looking for some great junior hockey action? If you are, then why not take in a Nepean Raiders game at the Nepean Sportsplex Steve Eiserman Arena? Spend a fun afternoon at the rink with the whole family watching young talented hockey players from across Eastern Ontario. The Raiders will close out 2024 with home games against the Hawkesbury Hawks, Navan Grads, and the Brockville Braves. The team is led by Luca Benoit, who is having himself an outstanding season, along with Declan Campbell and John Lumsden are having career years. The Raiders have made a couple of trades to bolster the lineup. They are certain to succeed with you cheering them on. Game time is every Sunday with a 2:30 p.m. puck drop. Watch Margaret's Table every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Rogers TV, Channel 22.
Kids these days, people say we lack initiative.
And technology, that we're all addicted.
Kids these days, we hear that we only care about ourselves. Apparently, we're lazy.
And don't seem to have any sense of independence.
Actually, kids these days are facing a lot. Because the world has changed, and so have our health issues. Kids these days, we could really use your help. Join CHIO in our biggest fundraising campaign ever to transform pediatric care.
Hey everybody, my name is Karen. I'm here with my best friends Shane and Monique. Join us on Rogers TV for Fitness Faction. Every week we're going to take you through a full body workout. We've got strength training, we've got cardio, we've got HIIT. Ladies, let's get back into it.
I think we've got 10 more skaters. Let's go.
And we're back on An Hour to Give. I'm Sam Laprade. Today is all about the Orléans Cumberland Community Resource Centre, and Chad Chartrand has come back. I'm so glad. Wonderful to have you here. We just had the opportunity to meet Rob Paiement and, of course, Deanie Charbonneau. They are incredibly inspiring. I can see how your job would just be wonderful working with people like that in the community.
Absolutely wonderful. We can't thank Rob and Denis enough for everything that they do, especially for the Firefighters Food Drive over the last 20 years that they've been working together and supporting us. They've helped us collect over 500,000 food items and over $60,000 for our food bank in support of our Christmas programs.
It really is inspiring to see that kind of volunteerism. And today, of course, the show is because of a wonderful sponsor that you've engaged. To tell us about them.
Yeah, so we're so grateful for Waste Connections of Canada, Navan Landfill for sponsoring this episode or sponsoring us to come here. Again, they've been supporting the center for many, many years. And, not only I mentioned the bike program during the first segment, but they also help support our school supplies program this year as well. So, yeah.
It's wonderful. It's no surprise. The holidays are right around the corner, of course. What is the Orléans Cumberland Community Resource Centre doing leading up to the holidays?
Yeah, so at the beginning of November, we launched our 2024 Christmas program. And this year, over the holidays, we're going to be assisting over 500 families, which is a significant increase compared to prior years. Last year, it was about 351 families that we supported. So you see that this year, the need is greater than ever. And so so to the families that have registered for this program, they will receive gift cards to grocery stores. So either and it's what's easier for them, right? Because it's traveling, it's schedules. So they'll receive either gift cards from PC gift cards, Walmart gift cards, Sobeys Freshco gift cards, or Metro gift cards. And it's to buy food, but if they want to use it to buy a gift for their child, or it's really how they want to use that gift card, and that's part of our Christmas program.
You know what word that I hear when you talk about that is the word dignity. There's some dignity in that. Yeah. People can make their own choices. I choose this stuffing over this stuffing, and there's dignity as a family going out and doing that.
Yeah, and that's what we provide, at the center with all our services, and especially at the food bank. We have what's called a choice model. So it's, folks that need assistance, we want to offer hope and warmth and need to folks in need, and they can go in and choose what's best for them, what's best for their family, what they like to cook. So that's what we offer at the Orleans Cumberland Community Resource Centre.
I love that. I love that so much. So we've been inspired. I warned off the top people would be inspired today. I knew they would be. I've been waiting to have you on for a very, very long time and share about what's happening in the Orleans community and the Orleans Cumberland community. Now there's a call to action. I want to know exactly how we can help. I want to know exactly how you want us to do that. Walk us through the next steps for all of us.
So this morning, we're going to be at 6 locations across the city for the Firefighters Food Drive. So if they can make it out to any of the 3 metros, so there's Metro Cumberland, Metro Fallingbrook, and Metro Convent Glen. We're also going to be at the Sobeys Orleans on 10th Line, and the Sobeys Trim and Innis on Innis, and the Freshco at Trim and Waters. If you're in our catchment area and you want to donate to our center, please come by. If you're doing your shopping, make a donation, whether it's an item, whether it's monetary. Like Denise said, if it's $1, that dollar is multiplied. And so everything helps, especially at this time of year.
And also, it's fun. It's fun to go hang out with the firefighters. It's fun to go in and get some groceries and get another bag for the drive, right? It's a wonderful thing to do.
And the firefighters are wonderful. They want, they're great. If people want their picture taken with the firefighters, the kids absolutely love it. And so, if after the Firefighters Food Drive, then if you want to donate to the center, or if you want to donate online, you can just go to our website at crcoc.ca, and there's a big banner there for for our Christmas program. So to donate to our Christmas program, and like Rob mentioned, if you're not in our catchment area, there are other food banks in Orleans and across the city, and I think it's really important to support your local food bank. It's more than ever, especially now.
Especially now, and especially this time of year. I think it's really important. But I do want to think about towards 2025. They've already talked about they're going to be organizing for next year. January and February can be very slow as well for food banks and for help. So the help doesn't stop just because Santa's come.
No, and that's it. And thank you for bringing that up. Now, yes, the donations are needed more than ever, not just for the holidays, but to kind of get us by into the new year.
Yeah, really, really important. What would you say to people that are thinking about heading out today and visiting the firefighters and participating today? Will you be joining at different locations and participating as well?
Please come out. I'd love to see you. And I'm going to be a little bit everywhere on that day. I'm going to be at the center with Rob and with his volunteers. I'm going to be traveling to all of the locations. I'm also going to be in Cumberland. So the Cumberland Community Association is also organizing a food drive for the center on the same day. So
You're like Santa. You're everywhere.
It's going to be a busy day.
I love it. I love it. And when you think about all of the volunteers that have given their time, a big shout out to them today as well.
Yes, thank you to all of Rob's volunteers and all our volunteers at the center who work with our programs. Thank you. And as I mentioned in the first segment, we can't do what we do without the support of all of our volunteers and our donors.
And we can make a donation online, right? So if we can't make it out that day, maybe we're busy that day with a party or something else going on in our family, we can visit the website and make a donation online.
You can visit the website, make a donation online, or you can come to the center and make a donation. We'll be accepting donations up until December 20th. If you still want to make a donation after that, we'll be open. But yeah, it's best to do before December 20th.
December 20th is the best day to get everything done by, for sure.
Yeah.
It allows you and your team to plan, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Really important. And I love that so many people, including Rob and Denny, involve their families, their young children in this as well. I know you've got some little ones as well.
Yeah.
But just that cyclical moment in this community where people are helping, bring their children along, and then that helps us for generations to come.
Absolutely. It's a cycle. Really, we really wish we didn't have a food bank, that there was no need for it, that we can focus on other, programs that we have at the center. But, because due to the tremendous need, everyone's help is crucial, is more important than ever. And really, getting, children love to give. They just have that twinkle in their eye, or that smile when they put something or they bring something to the community center.
For sure. And then I also think about businesses. Somebody might be listening right now that's trying to think of what they can do with their staff team. And this might be an opportunity to do something at the staff level and say, hey, everybody bring in 3 or 4 items. We're going to package it all up and we'll maybe make a delivery to the Orléans Cumberland Community Resource Centre.
Yeah, we have a number of businesses in the community who have been doing peer-to-peer, fundraisers for us over the holidays. Many have been doing it for many years. So, the generosity from our community is tremendous. The impact is tremendous. It really goes a long way in helping, just kind of think of a story that I have is there's a mother, and one of the testimonials on her website, if you want to read it, but she first came to the center with her son who was getting speech therapy through First Words, and she found out that she could get food assistance. And from there, like you mentioned, wraparound, that's what we do. We're that hub in the community. And so she was able to get food, take part in our Christmas program. There's another family as well who her husband is on disability. He can't work. And it's really the mother who has to take time, not work either, so that she can take care of her husband, her family. Wow. And she also she relies on friends and family to come to the food bank, and at times Uber ride-hailing services.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's the impact. Because we can think about, and it is a big number, helping 500 families, but when you break it down and say, this is one family that we're helping, here's another family that we're helping, I think it touches our heart even more when we have a chance to sort of see the power of one and how we as one can help another one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really impactful. Give us the website again, because I want to make sure we inspire people to head to the website if they can't join you on the Big Food Drive.
Yeah, so it's crcoc.ca. And on the front page, you'll see the banner for the Christmas program. Just click, and then you'll have all the options to donate, either sponsor a family, make a monetary donation, or you see our list of most needed food items to donate to the food bank.
Wonderful. And one big last shout out to our sponsor today.
Yes, I'd like to give a shout out to Waste Connections of Canada at Navan Landfill. Thank you again for sponsoring this episode and everything that you do for our center. We're so grateful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Chad, for everything you do.
Thank you, Sam.
I appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much for having us on.
It's been an honor, absolutely. Wonderful to talk all about the Orléans Cumberland Community Resource Centre today. Chad joined us, of course, Denis and Rob. They inspired us today. I hope we've inspired you to reach out to the community, and whether it's dropping off some food items or that cash donation, or maybe it's the gift of time, contributing will be very impactful to this organization. And thank you so much for joining us here on An Hour to Give. I'm Sam Laprade. Until next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
When I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, I was deteriorating in front of everybody.
All my life I lived with sickle cell. I went through a tragic crisis that put me in a coma for 3 weeks. While I was in there, I received a lot of blood to put me in a healthier state.